Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope your day and your week are going very well so far. We've got a new day, which of course means a new NBA player prop video to share with you guys. But first, as always, people, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. Helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. We've got a new day, which means a new opportunity to go ahead and make some money. I have 4 player props to go ahead and share with you guys in tonight's NBA slate. But first, before we dive into today's picks, a quick little recap of how we did last night. And overall, guys, we were okay last night. 3-3 overall. However, we were minus 0.42 on the units. Again, we put a little bit too much on the Jordan Hawkins one there. Hawkins absolutely sold for us there. Overall, though, we did have a nice couple hits. The Dennis Schroeder over 7.5 assists, which was a plus money play. We did hit that. Cam Thomas under, and we had the De'Aaron Fox over 5.5 assists. Couple of nice hits. The Randall one just barely missed. He finished with 34 points, rebounds, assists. One more rebound, assist, or point, and he would have cashed the over. So a close miss there on Randall. That would have been the difference between a profitable day and a not so profitable day. But overall, not terrible. We are still 25-19 so far this season. I got 4 more props to go ahead and share with you guys for tonight's slate. Let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's dive right in. We are jumping right into the Outlier screen, guys. Shout out to Outlier, the best sports betting tool on the market. We have a special offer down below in the description. Use that link down below. Get a 7-day free trial to check it out for yourself. Guys, if you watch any of my NBA player prop videos before, or if you're new here, stick around and watch throughout this video. Every data point that I give you in today's video and all my player prop videos are brought to you by Outlier. It's the best, guys. It consolidates everything that you need, every data point, pattern, trend, everything. It puts it in one easy and convenient place. It's really fantastic, but don't take my word for it. Try it out for yourself. 7-day free trial when you use the link down below. In the description, you got nothing to lose. If you don't like it after 7 days, you cancel. No cost to you guys at all. Special thank you to Outlier for sponsoring today's video. And special thank you to all you guys who've been tuning in. Our viewership has been going up and up and up every single day for the NBA player props. Almost 10,000 views yesterday. One of the highest viewed player prop videos we've done so far. Hoping to just keep going up and up and up all season long. So thank you very much. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button and drop a comment down below. Let's cook, guys. Our first of 4 player props in tonight's slate. We're starting the Raptors-Hornets game, 7 p.m. tip-off tonight. We're going Miles Bridges of the Charlotte Hornets over 20.5 points plus assists. We're going to go ahead and throw 1 unit on this play. It's minus 110 on DraftKings. Now, the data so far this year may not look fantastic. Miles Bridges so far this year, 1 of 3 games, he's cashed the over. He's averaging 19 points plus assists per game. That game versus Atlanta, pretty good performance, 27 points and 0 assists. He's going to cover this mostly in points. Doesn't really pass the ball all too much. But consider the matchups here. The other 2 games where he has not cashed the over versus Houston, a pretty solid defensive team, and versus Miami, a very good defensive team. Spoiler alert, guys, the Toronto Raptors, not a very good defensive team. And the head-to-head data looks really solid here. Each of his last 3 matchups with Toronto, dating back to last year, he cashed the over, averaging 33.67 points plus assists per game. Obviously, he had that really big game on February 7th of last year against Toronto where he had 45 points and 7 assists. But the fact that he has that big performance there means that he can have big games against the Toronto team. I mean, the overall data from last season is pretty solid as well. A 72% hit rate overall last year for Miles Bridges on this over. 50 out of 69 games. He cashed the over last year, averaging 24.35 points plus assists per game. But like I said, guys, the key thing here is the matchup versus Toronto. Overall last year, the Raptors were bottom 10, both points allowed and assists allowed in the NBA. Against small forwards, though, one of the worst teams in the NBA defensively last year. 30th in points allowed, 28th in assists allowed. And that defensive data makes sense when you consider that each of the last 3 meetings, Miles Bridges has cashed the over. And so far this year, like I said, although the numbers have been not great this year, the volume is there. He's taking about 14 shots per game, so he's shooting a ton. He's taking about almost 6 threes per game this year. He's playing the minutes, obviously at least 30 minutes in every single game. So the volume is there for Miles Bridges. And a little insight provided by Outlier dating back to his last 6 games. Miles Bridges has exceeded 20.5 points plus assists in 6 straight games versus bottom 10 defenses for points allowed, averaging 27 points plus assists per game. There, we're going to show you that little insight there brought to you by Outlier. Those are the 6 straight games versus bottom 10 defenses. And by the way, Atlanta this year falls in that data range. So really good numbers there for Miles Bridges. We like the spot here. 1 unit on this play. And for our second prop in tonight's slate, guys, we're actually going to stick with the Bridges family here, going with Mikal Bridges here of the New York Knicks in the Heat-Knicks game, 7:30 p.m. tip-off tonight. We're going Bridges here over 15.5 points for the Knicks. We're going to throw a unit on this play as well, minus 105 on DraftKings, so pretty good value as well. Bridges has a 100% hit rate so far this year on this over. In 3 games with the Knicks so far, he's scored at least 16 points in every game this season for the Knicks. He's averaging 18.67 points per game. The head-to-head data also very solid as well. Each of his last 4 meetings with the Miami Heat dating back to last year as a member of the Brooklyn Nets, Mikal Bridges has cashed the over, averaging 23.5 points per game against the Heat. Now, it's obviously a little surprising. Miami, obviously one of the better defensive teams. They were 3rd in the NBA in defense last year, but the one weak point they have in this defense is versus small forwards. 14th in the NBA last year, giving up 20.2 points per game to opposing small forwards. Like I said, Miami does not have a lot of weaknesses in their defense, but the one area that they are the weakest, again, still not bad numbers, but the weakest area is against small forwards there. So a good match there for Mikal Bridges. He did cash this line at overall last year at a 63% hit rate, 52 out of 82 games last year for the Brooklyn Nets. He cashed the over, averaging 19.59 points per game last season. And again, guys, one of the things we're looking at here is volume, and the volume has definitely been there for Mikal Bridges. You know, in a Tom Thibodeau system, he's going to play a lot of minutes. And so far, he was averaging 36 minutes per game so far with the Knicks. His last game versus Cleveland, 40 minutes in that matchup. So you just know he's going to play a ton. And the volume's there, 13.3 shot attempts per game. He's taking just shy of 5 threes per game. So the volume is there, and he's shooting about 60% from the floor. So pretty good numbers across the board there for Mikal Bridges. I know Miami kind of a tough matchup, but for almost even odds here, pretty good value. We're going to go ahead and throw a unit on this one. All right, next up, our third prop in today's slate. We're moving on to the Bulls Magic game, 8 p.m. tip-off. We're going with Josh Giddey here, no Diddy, under 18.5 points plus assists. Now, that joke was in poor taste. I'm sorry. Josh Giddey, I actually don't mind Josh Giddey. I think he's a good player. I think the Bulls actually got a pretty decent value getting him there. But so far this year, we're looking pretty good here on this under a points and assists at the 18.5 line. He's cashed in 2 of 4 games this year, a 50% hit rate. He is averaging 20.25 points plus assists per game. But the overall data is pretty good. So far last year, overall last year, I should say, a 69. Come on, guys. That's ridiculous. Talk about bad timing. A 69% hit rate, 62 out of 90 games last year. He cashed the under, averaging 16.44 points plus assists per game last year with the Thunder. And the head-to-head data versus the Orlando Magic, both times he faced off with Orlando last year, again as a member of the Thunder, he did cash the under with an average of 15.5 points plus assists per game. And although obviously his minutes and his role with the Thunder last year fluctuated, he actually played a decent amount of minutes in those 2 games versus Orlando. 27 minutes the first time, 27 minutes the second time. So pretty decent value, averaging 10 shots per game. Not totally far off from what he's doing so far this year with the Bulls. Looking at so far this year, he's averaging about 27 minutes per game again. So even though he's clearly getting more opportunity here with Chicago than he was in OKC, still not really playing many more minutes, about 11 shots per game. The volume is still basically the same. But this is all about the matchup here, guys. Orlando is one of the best defensive teams in the NBA last year. Again, this is all last year, but a lot of that correlates to this year as well. Orlando top 3 in both points allowed and assists allowed last year overall. Into shooting guards, 3rd in points and 4th in assists. So really good defensive metrics there against the Bulls here. And Josh Giddey, tough matchup here. He's been close, even though when he misses, very close misses. But I think it's a pretty good spot to go ahead and fade him here. And the insights provided by Outlier here. Josh Giddey has failed to exceed 18.5 points and assists in 9 of his last 11 games dating back to last season. An 82% hit rate. Again, a lot of that goes back to last year. But overall, not too shabby. All right, guys, and our 4th and final prop in today's slate, we're moving on to the Spurs-Thunder game. Speak of the Thunder, 9:30 p.m. tip-off. We're going with the alien here, Victor Wembanyama, over 11.5 rebounds. All the plays, but just to make it simple, guys, all the plays in today's slate are going to be 1 unit play. Just like I let you guys know, there's really no differentiation in the units for today's picks. So far this year, though, only 1 out of 3 games has Wembanyama cashed the over. He had a really big game against Houston the other night, 20 rebounds in that one, a pretty insane game from Wembanyama. But the first 2 games, just 9 rebounds and 7 rebounds in those first 2 matchups. And overall last year, Wembanyama, a 42% hit rate on this over. So 30 out of 71 games last year, he cashed the over. He averaged 10.63 rebounds per game last year. I think maybe sometimes his height is a little misleading. He's so big, you're going to expect him to get a bunch of rebounds like he did the other night, 20 rebounds versus Houston. But actually, believe it or not, he did not cash his over at much consistently last year. But the reason why I like it is the matchup. He actually cashed the over of 11.5 rebounds in all 3 games against OKC last year, averaging 13 rebounds per game against the Thunder. Again, not like he's crushing the line, but it's still cashing it consistently enough. The rebound chances have also been there, averaging 16.7 rebound chances per game against the Thunder last season. And it makes sense. The Thunder are not a good rebounding team overall last year. They were bottom 7 in the NBA in rebounds, 44.7 rebounds allowed per game. And versus center is 23rd, averaging 12.5 rebounds allowed per game to opposing center. So really good numbers there for Wembanyama. Pretty solid matchup, 27th to power forwards. The Thunder just don't have a lot of size. That's why they went out and got Isaiah Hartenstein. But of course, he's out right now for OKC. So I think Wembanyama, he cashed all 3 times. Pretty good chance he does it again here. I like this for the 4th and final prop in today's slate. So guys, that does it for me today. A little bit of a shorter video, a little bit of a shorter slate for today's NBA picks. But we'll obviously be back with more picks tomorrow. And of course, Freaky Friday right around the corner, guys. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. One more time, please make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. Helps the channel grow, and it really does mean a ton to us. I'll be back tomorrow with another NBA player prop video, but until then, hope you're all winners. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your Wednesday.